So we have covered how to create your donor database, the 4 ways to raise support, how to make an ask, and now we are talking about how to follow up after an ask. This is vital to actually getting the donations in your bank account. So at this point, you have made the ask, you did it with confidence, with energy, with passion, you listened, you practiced, you killed it. Now it's all about how to follow up with the donor to ensure you get their donation. So immediately after you had your ask meeting, go home, go to your computer, open up your email inbox and send an email to that donor with this information. Be sure to, first of all, thank them for your time, summarize what the meeting was about, and then most importantly, include the link for where they can donate. This email is vital because you might as well not have even had the ask meeting if you don't send this email. That's how important it is. We've actually created a little template for you to use when sending this email, and it's in the fundraising packet, so be sure to check that out. And like we said, send this email. It's really, really, really important. I know we say it all the time, but it really is. If they still haven't sent in a donation 2 weeks after sending that previous email, you need to send another email. This email should be similar to the previous email, but maybe in just a little bit of a friendlier tone. Make sure to include the link again of how to donate. If they haven't donated at this point, it doesn't mean that they don't want to donate. It just means that they have simply forgot. We all do it. Everybody has busy schedules, so it totally doesn't mean that they don't want to donate. They just have forgotten. So this is your reminder email 2 weeks later. And we also have a template for this in the fundraising guide, so check that out to help you out. Yes. So if it's 1 month later and you still haven't received a donation from your donor, that's okay. Once again, they're probably just really busy and have forgotten about it. So at this point, you kind of want to read the situation accordingly. It's going to look different for every donor, but maybe at this time it's better to choose a different way of communicating them to remind them, hey, still time to make a donation. Maybe this time you can pick up the phone and just say, hey, are you still interested in donating? Maybe here's my link again, or you can send them a quick text. It doesn't really matter. We are gonna leave that up to you on what you wanna do, but just be sure to make that one last final effort, because a lot of times, like we said, people forget, and it's great just to put in that final effort, and a lot of times you'll still receive donations, and it's totally 100% worth the effort, so be sure to do this. So whether it's 2 weeks or 1 month away, you need to follow up with your donors. Send them the link in whatever way you can think of. Make sure you're reaching out to them. Be intentional. The follow-up is really, really important, and that's the only way you're gonna actually receive the donation. So just make sure to stay in communication with them. Make sure you're recording your conversations with them on your donor database so that you're not repeating things or sound like a robot or anything. Make it personal and reach out to them as much as you can. So once you've received your donation, first off, celebrate. Woo! Getting a cup of coffee! We're so excited! But as soon as you get that donation, somebody from Delight HQ will notify you of who donated, how much it was for, and when it happened. At this point, you're gonna wanna go ahead and write a personalized thank you note. Get some cute little thank you note cards, stationery, whatever you wanna do, and write a handwritten letter to your donor just saying thank you so much for being a part of this and for making the effort to donate and be a part of what I'm doing. The system that they donate through will automatically send them confirmation of their donation as well as an automated thank you from Delight, but it's really important that you also send that personalized thank you because ultimately the donation is for you and your position in the next year. At this point, be sure to also record this in your donor database. Record how much they donated, when they donated, and in what way they donated. And then also be sure to also record that you wrote them a thank you note so you can check that off your list. And you're that much closer to being fully funded. Woo! This section is all about your support raising timeline. So far, we have talked about creating your donor database. Then we talked about
The 4 ways.
Yes, to raise support.
4 ways to raise support.
Then the third thing was how to make an ask. Fourth thing was,
the 4th thing was how to follow up after.
We got the donations, we're doing good, so let's talk about the timeline. This is really important because there is a lot of money to raise, a lot of people to talk to, a lot of follow-ups, just a lot of stuff. So you're gonna want to stay on track. So here it is.
So the support raising process begins in February. Keep in mind that the support raising process is a marathon, it's not a sprint, so we're gonna start out slow in the beginning and work our way up to it. So the first thing that you're going to do is read the book called The God Ask by Steve Shadrach. It's an awesome book that we've chosen that will kind of talk to you all about just what a cool opportunity it is to be able to invite people into the mission that God has called you to. You're gonna learn so much. It's amazing. Read it, highlight, underline, you're gonna love it.
The next thing to do is to watch this fundraising training course. Really weird to say because you're watching it right now, but hopefully it's February.
The third thing is going to be looking over all of the resources that we have for you on fundraising, which is in the Regional Directors portal. So be sure to check out all of those resources and to know them really well because these are going to be your lifeline throughout the support raising process.
During the month of February, your support raising coach will also be in contact with you. They will only be in contact with you once you have done those previous 3 things. So looking over all the support raising resources, watching the fundraising, or this fundraising series, and also reading the God Ask. After those things, your support raising coach will be in contact with you. We've made it to the month of March. So February was all about educating yourself on the support raising process. Now in March, you're gonna take a step further and start preparing things. This is your preparation month. So the very first thing you're gonna wanna do is start brainstorming potential donors. We have talked a lot about this through the fundraising series. So you're gonna wanna go onto the regional director page, go and fill out the worksheet that's all about creating your donor database and brainstorming these potential donors, 100 of them.
So once you've created that 100 name list, you're going to take all of those names and upload them into your donor database Excel spreadsheet. We've also talked a ton about this in the earlier parts of this video, but essentially you're going to want to upload their names into this, put their contact information and all the other things we mentioned, and make sure that this spreadsheet is starting to take shape and be full of potential donors.
The next thing you're going to want to do in February is start practicing your asks. So sit down with a family, a friend, somebody, and start doing like a little fake ask to get really comfortable in the conversation.
Then if you plan on hosting an event, a support raising event, you're gonna wanna start planning and preparing for this event. Basically, you want all of the preparation to happen in March, so that way when it comes time to actually hold your event, you're ready to go. It's a matter of just implementing the event and you are all done with the planning process.
The other thing you're gonna want to start doing is creating your support raising page. So on this page, it leaves a little room to write a description of the mission and who you are, so you're gonna start writing up that. You're also going to want to start creating your support raising video that will be uploaded onto there, which can be really, really creative or really, really simple. It's just totally up to you. The other thing you're going to want to start to creating is your ask letter. So you're going to want to be preparing all your support raising resources.
And then it's very exciting because at the end of March, we are going to be having our first staff meeting, a virtual staff meeting on Skype with all of our regional directors and us and our support raising coaches and things like that. It's going to be a really great time where we can all have a great conversation about the support raising process and share tidbits with one another and just feel really confident about it. So now it is April. This is the home stretch of the preparation side of things before you start actually making ask and asking for people to support. So the first thing you're going to want to do is finalize all of those things for your support raising page. Finalize that ask letter, finalize your video and your photos and your description, and send that in to HQ so that we can get that page ready for you and send you your link so you're ready to send it out.
The next thing you're gonna wanna do in this month is create your personal timeline and calendar. So for each week, you're gonna want to specify how much you wanna raise and who you're gonna reach out to and how you're gonna do it. Just create a very detailed calendar and timeline so that you're following that and keeping yourself on track. You don't want a month or a week to slip by.
The next thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have all of your contact information finalized, your letters and your emails are ready to go, everything's printed out, and essentially you are ready to sit down and start making those asks.
If you feel really prepared at this time in the process, you can even start to jump in and make a couple asks, but we realize that you guys, a lot of you are still graduating and still have a lot to do, so don't worry about it, but if you can, jump right in. May is your first month of actual asks and starting the support raising process. This is a crucial month, and honestly, you should raise most of your support in this month because you're gonna make your most asks and send out all the letters and emails and everything like that. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do in this month is schedule your first round of phone calls or in-person meetings with your first round of contacts, which are the people you know best.
Also during this time, you're going to want to be sending out any follow-ups or emails or letters that you're planning on sending. Go ahead and get those out, sent out in the mail, in the interweb, whatever it is.
The next thing you're going to want to do is start posting on social media. So you want to make sure all the people you know, your whole network, knows what you're doing this summer and how they can be a part of it.
At this time, your support raising coach is also going to be in contact with you, and it's just going to be making sure that you are kind of staying on track and keeping up with your goals and meeting all of those goals. So be sure to schedule time to talk with your support raising coach. Can you believe it? It's June. Oh my goodness, time is flying by. Support raising is so much fun. But at this point, you should be really good at support raising because you've already been doing it for a month. You should be getting creative and diving deeper into the support raising process. Actually, by June 15th, it should be your halfway goal. So somebody from HQ will be checking in to make sure that you've reached this goal. What you should be doing during the month of June is continuing to reach out, set up phone calls, and set up in-person meetings with your second round of contacts this time.
The other thing you need to be doing during this month is following up with the first round of contacts that have yet to donate. So send them that follow-up email and make sure that you get a donation from them.
June is the perfect time to hold your fundraising event. So you did all that planning and preparation for it. It's time to hold your fundraising event, and hopefully it goes really, really well.
July is finally here, and this is your last month to raise support. Most of this month will be spent doing follow-ups and reaching out to people to make sure they turn in their donation, but you're also going to be reaching out to your third round of contacts in this month. Your third round of contacts are actually a very, very promising round of contacts. So make sure to schedule those meetings. You should be really, really good at the simple ask at this point.
Make sure that in July you also follow up with anyone that maybe you haven't heard from yet or anybody who hasn't donated quite yet. Be really, really intentional about those follow-ups because this is kind of the last-ditch effort to get those donations in.
The other thing you're gonna do during the month of July is sending out all your thank you letters and just getting that out of the way. Anybody who's donated, make sure you get those thank you letters out to them so that they know you have received their donation.
This is your last full month of fundraising, so do everything you possibly can in this month. Work hard, wake up early, go to bed late, make sure that those dollars come in. Your fundraising coach is going to be there for you during this process, helping you to come up with ideas and just little ways that you can make sure you meet your goal. It's really important that you dedicate the time and energy needed during this month to make sure that you meet that goal. We know you can do it.
It is August, you did it! Woo! Woo! You are fully funded! Yeehaw! Praise the Lord! So, now that you're fully funded, you're gonna wanna send out all of your thank you letters and make sure that you go back to your donor database and write down what everybody donated, how they donated, so that you can be following up with them throughout the entire year. Although you're fully funded at this point, you can't guarantee that every month's donations will just come in and that they'll graciously give all the time, no matter what. You're gonna have to be following up with them, making sure that they know all the amazing things that you're doing and the crazy ways that the Lord has been working in college women's lives. So make sure that you're continuing to follow up with them, that your database is really clear and awesome.
Here we are, can you believe it? We are at the 6th and final section of the fundraising video. At this point, it means that you are fully funded and you are officially a regional director. Now it's just time to keep your donors in the know, keep them involved in what you're doing, and Kent and I have a bunch of ideas for you that will help you to be creative and thoughtful with ways that you're communicating with your donors.
The first and most likely way that you can follow up with your donors is through monthly newsletters. This just needs to happen once a month. If you do it more than once a month, it's just overwhelming and the donors they don't want to hear from you that much. So you can use this free resource called MailChimp, where you can create a really cute letter, just writing, what the Lord has been doing and how their support has helped you. And so you want to write a little bit, add pictures, whatever you can to be creative about this. Make sure that all of your donors are uploaded into the system. It's just a couple click of buttons and it will be done. So monthly newsletters are a great and creative way to keep your donors in the know.
The next way is through handwritten notes. This is something that maybe for a couple of donors each week you write handwritten thank you notes or just little notes. Maybe while you're traveling you could go to a place and get postcards and send them a postcard from wherever you're visiting. They're just fun little things to get in the mail. It makes the donor feel really noticed and heard from. People love personalized handwritten notes, especially kind of the older generations. They think it's the best thing in the world. So have fun with these, and I would just make a commitment to do maybe 2 to 3 of these every single week, and by the end of the year you'll have sent each of your donors probably 2 or 3 letters. So it's really easy to do and a lot of fun.
The other way to keep your donors in the know is through phone calls. Not a lot of people pick up the phone and call each other these days. And this is something that will make a huge impression on your donors. So no matter if they're like your college friends or your grandparent or somebody you didn't really know before this process, pick up the phone and call them. Share with them what the Lord has been doing. Hear from them and what they've been up to. This is a great way to just establish a real relationship with your donors. You only need to do like a handful of these each month. Don't feel like you have to call everybody all the time. That will actually probably be kind of annoying. So just pick a couple here or there and call them.
Another great and creative thing that you can do to keep your donors in the know is to maybe do a video. So these, once again, can be as complex or as simple as you like. But basically, it's a fun way for your donors. You can just update them and say, hey, this is what I've been doing, this is the way God has been moving, and it's really fun for the donors to get to see you in your environment doing your thing. Another thing you could do is maybe do a vlog style and maybe a day in the life of a regional director, and you could film yourself going to a coffee shop or going to a chapter meeting, and that way donors have a really good feel for what your day looks like and what they're supporting you doing. And it's just fun and creative, and it's kind of like going the extra mile to keep your donors in the know and involved in what you're doing.
Another way is a quick text. Of course, this should not be a group text because nobody really likes group text, but this is a bad idea. So quick texts are supposed to be just personalized. Hey, I'm thinking of you. I've been driving and you were on my mind, but don't text and drive. So quick texts are a great way to stay in contact with your donors.
Another thing you can do is create a Facebook page or a Facebook group for your donors. And it's an easy way for you to communicate with a lot of donors at one time. You can post in there and just say like, hey guys, I really need prayer for this specific chapter, or I'm going to be on the road this week, keep me in your mind, or I just sent out a new newsletter, or here's a new video, things like that. It's a one-stop shop for you to communicate with all of your donors, and they can even interact with one another if they'd like to do that as well.
When doing all these things, you want to make sure to include testimonies of what the Lord has been doing in your own life, but also specifically what He's been doing in the lives of the other leaders. So when it's an email, a letter, a phone call, a text, whatever it is in your videos, make sure that you're sharing testimonies of the ways that the Lord is working. This will just give them a very direct image of what their support has done in these women's lives.
And the final idea that we have for you is to send small gifts. This is something that you'll maybe only do once or twice, if at all. But a great time to do this is around Christmas time. Usually it can be something really cheap and handmade, something fun, whatever it is. But it's just a great way for your donors to feel extra appreciated and like you're thinking of them. Maybe you can even make it look delightful and cute and pink. That way it kind of matches the brand and theme of what you're doing. So have fun with these and be creative, and make sure you send us one too.
So those are all the ways that we have come up with to keep in touch with your donors, but be creative with this. Do your own thing. Really make it personal to each donor. This is part of your job as a regional director and is vital to making sure you receive those donations once a month. So be in touch with them. Make sure that they know what the Lord has been doing in the lives of college women all across the country. This is exciting. They're in mission with you, so make sure they feel part of it.
So that is everything. That is our entire training course for how to raise support. So recap, number 1, we started out with creating your donor database. Then we talked about the 4 ways that you can raise support. Then we talked about how to make an ask. Then we talked about how to follow up after an ask. Then we moved on to your support raising timeline. And finally, we ended with how to keep your donors in the know. That was a lot of information. I hope you made it to the end. But it's a lot to do, but we're really excited about you starting this process. It's gonna be really a fun time in your life, we promise.
For each one of these sections in this video, we have created a worksheet that you can find on the Regional Director's Resources page. So make sure to follow along with these worksheets through each section of this video, because it will give you more detail and even ask some questions and is a little bit more interactive. So make sure to follow that as well.
So we are done with our part, and now it is your turn to spend the next couple of months kind of right in the center of, I see it as right in the center of God's will and God's heart for you. You are going to experience God in unbelievable ways next few months. God's going to show up in your meetings, in your phone calls, in your emails. You're going to be blown away with how people are willing to support you and how excited they are that you ask them to partner with you in this dream and this vision. Honestly, guys, I know it seems daunting, but looking back in August, you're going to look back on this time and just be amazed at all that God did, how much you grew as a person, and how much you grew in ministry. We can't wait to get started with you as a regional director, and we will talk with you very soon.